I'm just exhausted because, this was really a tough thing to do.
A week after the American Sniper trial verdicts, jurors are now being released to talk to the media. We are finding out the Permian Basin was connected to the American Sniper trial in more ways than one. Chris Kyle was born in Odessa, and one of the women on the jury was from Crane and spent much of her time in Big Spring.
CBS 7's Lauren Landman spoke with her about that experience, one she says was difficult and very emotional. Lauren?
Jay Tatum, Fredda Arney was the oldest juror. She tells me that serving on the jury was something she felt that she needed to do and wasn't going to let her age stop it. But like you said, it was emotional, and even though she believes it was the right verdict, she says families are still grieving.
Find the defendant Eddie Ray Routh guilty.
It was a verdict and trial the nation couldn't turn away from.
I didn't realize the scope of it until it was over.
Out of 800 residents summoned, 71-year-old Fredda Arney was picked, a woman who lived many years in the Permian Basin and was the oldest on the jury.
It hit me that this is big, and everybody was interested in the verdict.
Fredda never knew that at her age, a high-profile case like this would fall into her lap and would seemingly impact weeks, if not more, of her life.
Never dreamed that I would be selected. I mean, it just never entered my mind.
But just like that, everything changed. Fredda had police escorts. Her days were spent in a courthouse, and reporters were repeatedly trying to contact her.
I'm just exhausted because, this was really a tough thing to do.
Fredda sat through days of evidence, days of pictures, and days of testimony. The hardest part, watching Eddie Ray Routh, the man found guilty, stare back at those who lost family members without expression.
The part that was the most difficult was looking at the crime scene, the pictures, and then hearing the testimony of Taya. He stood there and looked at them and never acknowledged them, and it's just the letdown.
She says it was her civic duty, and she wouldn't change a second of it, and the return to what used to be her everyday life will be difficult.
I thought I was okay when I left the courthouse, and I told my friends when it was over, even though we reached a verdict, there were no winners in this because 3 families were destroyed, totally. We had to do the guilty. They put on a case that was, everything was laid out for us, and we had no choice to come back with a guilty verdict.
Fredda did add that she hadn't watched the movie or read the book before the verdict. However, she says other jurors did admit to watching the movie, but say that doing that, their decisions were not swayed. Live in the newsroom, I'm Lauren Landman, CBS 7 News.